And all the girls that I like the bone have the big butt. No, they don't, cause I don't like that nigga shit. I just here to make a bigger hit.
He doesn't even understand what's happening. I mean, that conversation has broken in the Black community. That's why Trump's numbers are up. Beyond that, I've been on The Breakfast Club, I've done Joe Budden. Like, Black Americans are following this podcast. They actually like me. I went viral on a few of those channels, on Instagram channels the other day because of my conversation with Don Lemon. They're starting to hear what I have been saying, because back in 2016, when I was saying Black Lives Matter was a fraudulent organization, people were not ready to listen to that. But then what happened was they proved that they were a fraudulent organization, and people said, yeah, no, I think Candace may have been trying to tell us that, and she was right, and maybe I need to listen to her rather than listen to what other people are telling me about her. What's actually happened to Eminem is he's an out-of-touch elitist. He is. This is what happens. He is now a lefty elitist. He's pretending to know anything about what's going on. The reality is that a lot of those people in the country that he doesn't like, take it from me, I moved to Tennessee, have a lot more in common with the people that he's trying to appeal to. I think he thinks he's appealing to, like, what, the hood? They have a lot more in common because these are regular people who are suffering in different but similar ways, who recognize that the economy is not good and an Eminem track is not going to make it better.
In his latest lyrical outburst, rap icon Eminem has once again ignited controversy, this time targeting conservative commentator Candace Owens. The Detroit rapper, known for his politically charged lyrics, took aim at Owens in 2 tracks on his newest album called The Death of Slim Shady, in which he attacks her political views in a series of scathing lyrics, particularly her advocacy for Black people to consider alternatives to the Democratic Party. Owens, a prominent supporter of former President Donald Trump, and a vocal critic of what she describes as the Democrat Party's exploitation of Black voters, has long been a lightning rod for criticism from liberal and progressive circles. Eminem, who has been an outspoken critic of Trump and the Republican Party, seemed to challenge Owens' perspective by suggesting that Black voters who stray from the Democratic Party are making a grave mistake. In the song Lucifer, Eminem criticizes Owens' political views, specifically targeting her outspoken support for conservative policies and her critique of the Democratic Party. Owens has been a prominent voice urging Black people to reconsider their traditional alignment with the Democrats, advocating for more political diversity within the Black community. Eminem's lyrics, however, suggest that Owens is misleading her audience and accuse her of betraying the interests of Black Americans. The rapper's words are sharp, casting Owens as a figure who is allegedly out of touch with the struggles of the community she claims to represent. He implies that her support for conservative ideals is harmful and that her stance on issues like police reform and systemic racism is misguided. In the song, he raps, "I ain't mad at her. I ain't gonna throw the fat bitch forgot she was Black back at her." This lyric is a prime example of another white liberal expecting every Black person to vote for the Democrat Party. And if they don't, then the Black person forgot they were Black, in the words of the racist white liberal. White liberals like Eminem are the worst because they act like 1800s slave owners, attempting to keep the Black person in what they view as being in the right place, which is the Democrat Party in their mindset, and if they step out of line, then they whip the Black person, or in this case, verbally assault them. Eminem then raps in a cute MAGA hat with her brand new White Lives Matter shirt, which he then says nope. It's absolutely ironic that the beginning of these lyrics about Owens are focused on her apparently forgetting that she's Black. But then Eminem appears to forget that he's white when he says that his own life doesn't matter. It's absolutely idiotic and moronic, in which this contradiction is hilarious if you really think about it. Eminem then raps call her Grand Wizard, Candace, or Grand Dragon. The fact that Eminem is referring to Owens as a white supremacist is absolutely insane, but definitely not out of the norm coming from the crazy white liberal. The idea that Owens is a white supremacist, even though she is Black, just because she supports the MAGA movement, is a prime example of how far the white liberal will go in their attempt to keep Black people on the Democrat plantation. Eminem is promoting a narrow view of political allegiance, particularly among Black voters, and dismisses the legitimate concerns some Black people have with the Democrat Party. His comments are condescending, in which he implies that black voters should align with the Democrat Party without question, and if black people decide to think for themselves, then he will verbally whip them. Eminem crosses a line by attacking Owens in such a personal and vitriolic manner. His portrayal of her is not only wrong, but also dismissive of the legitimate concerns she raises about the state of Black America. By reducing her arguments to mere political posturing, Eminem fails to engage with the substance of her views, opting instead for ad hominem attacks. In the song Bad One, Eminem accuses Owens of abandoning her black culture due to her stepping away from the Democrat plantation.
This $1,000 in my hand is just like what Candace did when she turned her back on her own race, cause I have abandoned it.
He raps, "This $1,000 in my hand is just like what Candace did when she turned her back on her own race, cause I have abandoned it." Owens has gained a significant following by challenging the mainstream narrative on race and politics, arguing that the black community has been taken for granted by the Democrat establishment. Eminem's lyrics, however, dismiss Owens' positions, painting her as a traitor to her race and suggesting that her views are not only misguided, but dangerous. He accuses her of pandering to a conservative audience at the expense of black Americans and questions her authenticity as a voice for the community. Eminem's portrayal of Owens is overly simplistic and fails to engage with the substance of her arguments. By reducing Owens' views to mere opportunism, Eminem overlooks the genuine concerns she raises about issues like economic empowerment, education, and criminal justice reform within the black community that the Democrat Party promises to address, but then never do once they are in office. It is ironic that Eminem, a white artist, positions himself as an arbiter of what constitutes acceptable political thought for black people. Eminem perpetuates a narrow view of black identity, where any deviation from the majority opinion is met with hostility rather than respectful dialogue. Eminem's lyrics are an attempt to shut down black independent thought. These Eminem songs exemplifies how dissenting black voices are often attacked rather than engaged with on their merits. Eminem's critique is rooted in fear that more black people are beginning to question long-standing political affiliations and explore alternatives. Both songs are a desperate attempt to silence black voices that don't fit the liberal narrative. Eminem has no place dictating what black Americans should think or who they should support politically. The irony of Eminem, who has built his career on challenging authority and societal norms, now attempting to police the political beliefs of others, is hilarious. Eminem's attack exemplifies a broader problem where dissenting voices within the black community are marginalized or ridiculed by racist white liberals who disagree with them. Eminem's lyrics are paternalistic and perpetuates a mentality that keeps black people politically monolithic. Black voters deserve the freedom to think independently and should not be pigeonholed into supporting one party over another based on historical precedent. The exchange has sparked a broader discussion about the expectations placed on black voters and the role that influential figures like Eminem play in shaping political discourse. While Eminem's intentions may have been to defend what he sees as the best interests of black Americans, his approach underscores a problematic narrative that does not fully respect the diversity of thought within the black community.